Crews are hard at work setting up a new gunshot detection system in Macon-Bibb County.
It should be installed by the end of February. Now, the system, called ShotSpotter, will place acoustic sensors at selected spots around the county to pinpoint gunfire and then alert the sheriff's office to the location. Last fall, Macon-Bibb County leaders unanimously agreed to spend nearly $2 million of the county's American Rescue Plan money on ShotSpotter.
Tonight, our 13 Investigates Ashlyn Webb explains why there are questions about how well the county researched the deal before buying in.
On September 14th, Mayor Lester Miller proposed a $2 million deal with ShotSpotter, discussed it with Commission, and pushed to approve the contract, all of that in one night. But now some commissioners are having second thoughts, at least about the process.
I don't think the vote would be the same today.
It was certainly put on a fast track, without a doubt.
Sheriff David Davis agrees it was fast-tracked, but to push Miller's Macon violence prevention program forward.
I think we would wind up here either way, whether we waited, 3 months to get it approved and signed off on, or 6 months or a year. I think we would be here to have this system.
To explain how this all happened, let's go back to the Bibb County Commission meeting on September 14th. That's the only time the $2 million deal came up in a public meeting.
So you can hear the gunfire.
A ShotSpotter rep gave a sales pitch to commissioners, the first time the public could hear from the company, and the only time commissioners could publicly talk about the new technology. That afternoon, Mayor Lester Miller called a special meeting to vote on the deal. Commissioner Virgil Watkins said then and there, it felt rushed.
I would love to have been able to read this, prior to the vote, which would have happened on a regular day, because it just got sent to us at 12:24 after we discussed it the first time. But we'll make our decision on ShotSpotter with none of this information, which again just seems inappropriate.
But Watkins went ahead and voted yes. It passed Commission unanimously.
Our top story tonight, Macon-Bibb County leaders approved spending nearly $2 million of American Rescue Plan money on a new gunshot detection system. It's called ShotSpotter.
But 13 WMAZ raised questions about how much information commissioners got before that vote. Miller and his aides told us they were given information in private meetings and there was plenty of communication. So we filed a records request for any documents submitted by ShotSpotter on the contract, any emails between Mayor Miller, staff, and commissioners, and any independent research done by the mayor's office. Basically, did Miller and his staff do any due diligence on ShotSpotter? After cutting a $400 check, 13 WMAZ got 680 pages worth of emails. Due diligence, a county attorney said they don't have any record of research or analysis by Miller's office. Most of the emails are about organizing a June news conference on the Macon Violence Prevention Program, and then Miller and ShotSpotter setting up small private meetings with commissioners. Miller wrote several times that he did not want the meetings getting out in public.
I think it was well orchestrated to ensure that there were no negatives mentioned during or before our voting process.
I think it's easy to say, oh, you supported it. Yeah, I supported it with the information you gave me. It's just like the prosecutor and the defense. Once the prosecutor lays out their case, you're like, wow. And then all of a sudden, here comes the defense with the other side. And a lot of times we don't get the other side, or we didn't get the other side when it came to ShotSpotter.
So what is the other side? Miller and the commissioners might have seen an Associated Press report on a man who was falsely charged with a crime based on ShotSpotter evidence that was wrong. Or they might have read the City of Chicago Inspector General's report that said ShotSpotter alerts rarely led investigators to gun crimes, and there was no evidence it helped reduce violent crime. Or they might have watched last year's 11 Alive investigative report that said Atlanta police tested ShotSpotter for a year in 2019 and decided it was not worth the money. All of that information was available long before September 14th to anyone who Googled ShotSpotter. But the records we got from Macon-Bibb don't show that Miller and his staff checked out that information or shared it with commissioners. Both Commissioners Al Tillman and Virgil Watkins say they did not have time to do their own research. But Watkins says he has concerns now.
We're only putting it in a few neighborhoods, so those neighborhoods are going to get the cops visiting them that much more frequently. It's kind of a cycle. You look for something, you're going to find something.
If I had to do it all over again, I would ask and inquire, and try and get more information.
Meanwhile, Commissioner Bill Howell said he had plenty of time.
I personally had time to do plenty background check and satisfy myself that this was a good program.
We reached out to Mayor Miller several times about ShotSpotter and why the vote was rushed. After no response, we asked at a news conference on February 1st.
Sir, I'm not answering those questions today.
Miller responded by email later that day, saying that they have publicly discussed ShotSpotter since June 2021 and that Davis has requested this technology for several years. He did not answer any more of our questions. For 13 Investigates, I'm Ashlyn Webb.
Watkins and Tillman added that they, along with Commissioner Paul Bronson, confronted the mayor about the rush to vote after commissioners approved the resolution. All three asked for a revote.